As you prepare for the holiday season, we'll give you some tips to find the perfect tree.
And we have a special guest with us tonight to discuss the controversy with the Ferguson trials.
You're watching Coastline News.
Good evening and welcome to Coastline News. I'm Katie Seals.
And I'm Nick Helgard.
A PLNU graduate's parents were found dead last week. Reporter Ross Niederhoff has the details on what happened.
Point Loma's neighborhoods were rattled last Friday by a double homicide which occurred around 3 a.m. in the 1000 block of Torrento Drive.
They found the door open to the residence, and there was two victims inside, a male and a female that had suffered gunshot wounds.
The gunman was 22-year-old Peter Haynes, son of victims David and Lissa Haynes. Soon after the altercation, Peter was found trying to sneak under the police tape and was arrested on scene. Kimberly Haynes, Peter's only sibling, came forward on Friday to explain a Facebook photo that had raised questions during the case's investigation. This photo shows Peter teaching Kimberly how to hold and shoot a gun. Although it is somewhat of an eerie foreshadowing to the event, Kimberly explains that she sees it much differently.
My brother struggles with paranoid schizophrenia severely, so I put it on Facebook because I know this sounds silly, but I was actually really proud because it was like a moment that my brother and I actually connected together.
The murder, which at first seemed to be driven solely by violence, may very well be the result of a debilitating mental disability. Dr. Chris Lambert, an expert in psychological disorders, explains how schizophrenia may cause a typically harmless person to commit a serious crime.
The problem with schizophrenia and paranoid schizophrenia is the thoughts and feelings that they have, especially if he had paranoid thoughts, suspicious thoughts, are usually directed at friends and family. So he may honestly think that his friends, in this case maybe his parents, were trying to harm him or hurt him in some way. If that's the case, that's what's happening in his head.
Many community members are currently focused on Haynes' sentencing and punishment. However, Dr. Lambert believes there is a more important issue to focus on.
What we really want to do is get the folks into treatment. This is not about let's put blame on someone's schizophrenia and the mental health system is terrible. That's not what it's about. It's about learning about these things so that we can get them into treatment to help them.
Ross Niederhoff, Coastline News.
Thousands of people are protesting over the grand jury's decision in Ferguson to not indict Officer Darren Wilson. The New York grand jury also did not indict Officer Daniel Pantello in the Eric Garner case. The case went viral from a video showing Officer Pantello placing the asthmatic Garner in a chokehold. This move is prohibited by the New York Police Department. The video includes Garner yelling, "I can't breathe," and going limp as the officer holds him in place. The coroner's report listed the cause of death as a chokehold. Thousands of protesters took to the streets of New York in protest of the grand jury's decision.
This situation is very similar to the grand jury decision in Ferguson last week. We are seeing some of the very same reactions last week in this decision that we're seeing this week as well.
And joining us tonight to speak about this issue is Dr. Geoffrey Carr, Chief Diversity Officer here at Point Loma. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Katie.
Now, the Ferguson grand jury had decided not to indict Officer Darren Wilson. How do you think the civil case from the federal government will turn out?
As was the case back in 1992 in the Rodney King case, where the actual officers were found not guilty in the criminal case, it did go to a federal case and a civil case, at which time they did decide in favor of the plaintiff, who was Rodney King. I am sure the same thing's going to happen in this case, because we do have some incontrovertible evidence there that, irregardless of what the grand jury decided, there are other venues that can be pursued by the family and by the community.
All right.
Okay. And the diversity on the police force in Ferguson is pretty skewed. 3%, yeah. 83% of the cops are white and 67% of the cops are African American. So do you think that's unusual for the rest of?
No, I don't think that's unusual. There has been a great deal of change in the demographics in Ferguson. Ferguson, just as short a time as 40 years ago, was 99% white. and less than 1% black. And over the years, as a result of moves and demographic changes and something commonly referred to as white flight, when one group of people move in this particular situation, when African Americans moved in, then whites started to leave. And so over a period of years, there's been a huge change in the demographics where it's about 70% black in Ferguson now, and then you have a police force that has pretty much remained the same, and very few of those people live there, the policemen live there. And so there's a perceived inequity, there's a trust issue there, and anytime that is going to be present, I think we owe it to ourselves to take additional steps to mediate any perceptions of an inequity. And in this case, it's really clear that that didn't happen. You can't treat everyone the same based on those kinds of numbers. And when you try to treat everyone the same, someone's going to take issue. And I think that's what's happened in this case.
Well, do you think that inequity in the population had any sort of responsibility when it came to the level of violence we saw in the riots or any sort of?
Yeah, I think it's good to know two things. There were both peaceful protests and there were those who took to a more physical way of expressing their dissatisfaction. I don't really look at one or the other. They both had an ability to express who they were, their feelings. But at the same time, folks are taking more of a look at what they did as rioters as opposed to the initial inequity. And I think the focus needs to continue to remain on what the people are perceiving there is whether Black lives matter or not. And that is certainly the greater issue here. I don't want us to be sidelined by ideas about the rioting should not have happened. Well, the young man should not have been killed either. And so when you look at that, you have an opportunity to make this more of a, not just a moment, but a movement to consider how we as people in our society are responding to the inequities, the socioeconomic inequities that exist all around us. We can't ignore that.
Okay. And Point Loma isn't exactly known as a very diverse campus. Do you think that kind of affects the way this campus is handling what's going on in other parts of the nation? Do you think we're kind of unaware in a way?
I think that we are a community of educators, and we have a responsibility to make sure that our campus community is aware of the issues, and not just the media sound bites, but all the issues, so that we as a community would not succumb to overgeneralizations of what's happening in our world. I do think that if the same type of situation happened here on the campus at Point Loma, then we'll be subject to the same type of protests, the same types of physical reactions to that. So we have to be very careful to not think that this bubble of Point Loma, and PLNU in particular, is exempt from these types of things happening.
Definitely. There actually was a student today on campus wearing a sign, and it read, it read the last words of Eric Garner. There we have it. Hands up, don't shoot. And that student is Ebenezer. He's the vice president of the Black Student Union. His reasoning for doing this was that he felt that people on campus were unaware of what happened, and he wanted to let people know what was going on. Do you think we'll see more of that in this area, maybe even on campus?
Well, that goes back to what I just said. Whether or not this is going to be a moment or is it going to be a movement, I think if there is the type of interest from all over the campus, it will continue to be something. And I applaud that effort. It's just a teachable moment, it's a sad moment, but it's an opportunity for us to really evaluate who we are as a people.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
This week, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors unanimously voted to launch the Alzheimer's Project. The plan is to bring together local research institutes to develop a new drug to cure the disease once and for all. On Tuesday, a meeting was held at the County Administration Building to kick off the project and to raise awareness about the estimated 60,000 people in San Diego who are currently living with Alzheimer's. The event included a long list of speakers from the science community, Mayor Kevin Faulconer, and one important guest, Bob Estabrook. Estabrook's wife, Sally, a victim of Alzheimer's, wandered away from their Julian campsite 2 months ago, and her body was discovered last Thursday. Gift shopping for the entire family may be hectic, but the real stress comes when traveling during the holidays.
Yes, and I spoke with the San Diego International Airport to find out how they are planning to help travelers during the busiest travel time of the year. There's no place like home for the holidays, but for many, getting there is a stressful battle. With only 3 weeks left until Christmas, experts are estimating a nearly 23% increase in travelers for the Christmas and New Year's travel period. John Graves, Senior Manager of Marketing and Public Relations at San Diego International, says they are expecting the usual increase in holiday flyers.
So the Thanksgiving holiday is among our busiest holiday travel days. We have up to 60,000 coming through the terminals per day. It's going to be the same thing through the Christmas holiday, and that is a significant increase over the 50,000 that we average per day. So again, a lot busier.
Like most airports, San Diego International stays open 24 hours on Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's to service nonstop flights to 50 markets around the world. Traveling during the holidays can often mean dealing with crowded airports, long lines, and you guessed it, bad weather. But San Diego International Airport is combating that stress by bringing in a very special group of furry friends. San Diego International, located just off of Harbor Drive, is one of 30 airports to offer a dog therapy program in the U.S.
We just launched a Ready Pet Go pet therapy program. We have 11 dogs, ranging from small, medium, and large dogs. My favorite is the Rottweiler. It's a program where travelers who are stressed out, you come in. If you're feeling the holiday stress, these dogs will just approach you, and they're very gentle, docile animals. They'll hug you, they'll kiss you. These dogs are great. And they really just are aimed at relieving stress through the holidays.
The new program features professionally trained dogs and animal relief areas outside of the airport as well as inside some terminals. Although canine affection is soothing, reducing travel stress begins before you get to the terminal. The airport recommends that holiday travelers prepare in advance by arriving 2 hours ahead of time and keep the 311 rule in mind. Katie Seals, Coastline News.
A child's dreams were crushed last night when the Mission Viejo shopping center did not let her see Santa. The girl, who is autistic, has a service dog, and they waited in line for over an hour but were turned away because Santa was afraid of her pit bull. The family agreed to remove the dog from the area, but Santa still refused to meet with the girl. The mall posted a statement saying that they don't condone Santa's behavior and are working to replace Santa with someone who is friendlier towards customers. When the new Santa is hired, the mall will gladly welcome the girl back.
After the break, we'll tell you about PLNU's new campus pet.
And we'll also let you know the forecast for this upcoming week.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Parents sure have their hands full, and they could use an extra hand. Now, every state offers free or low-cost health insurance for your sports hero or budding artist. Kids up to age 19 can get checkups, doctor and dentist visits, hospital care, prescriptions, and more. Your child may qualify based on your family size and income. It's one less thing to worry about. Call or go online for more information.
Christmas is coming up and many are still looking to purchase trees.
Reporter Samantha Watkins will tell you the best place to shop.
The family Christmas tree farm is busy the day after Thanksgiving until Christmas Eve, with families coming to get their tree for the holiday season. The farm grows their own trees and offers miniature trees for tabletops to 6-footers. They sell coastal redwoods, noble firs, and the common pine tree, with prices ranging from $20 to $50.
They have tools like this one so you can cut down your own tree. Or, if you don't want to, they have pre-cut trees put out fresh daily.
Once the tree is cut down, workers load it onto their truck. Then they shake it, net it, and put it on a stand for a small fee, ready for you to put in your car and take home.
We just welcome families to come have a good time, get their tree. You know, it's not only about getting the tree, it's kind of the experience as well.
The farm offers more than just Christmas trees. They provide a cozy environment with a fire to keep warm and sleigh rides with Santa.
I like the Santa sleigh and looking for trees.
The family Christmas tree farm has been in El Cajon for over 40 years, bringing the Christmas spirit and fun to families. Samantha Watkins, Coastline News.
Okay, now I'm a SoCal girl, born and raised, so I'm always hoping that it's going to be at least a little bit rainy or maybe cold when I go shopping for Christmas trees.
Well, coming back from Thanksgiving especially, you hope you're in that holiday mindset and the weather gets cool, so you kind of stay in it as you build towards Christmas. So let's look to our weather reporter, Hillary Zieber, to see what the rest of the season has in store.
Well, I've got good news for you guys, Point Loma. December has arrived, and I think the weather knows it. But before we get to that, let's give a shout out to PLNU student William Alvarado for sending in an awesome photo. After a night full of rain, the pavement was filled with water, and he was able to capture this beautiful photo. If anyone has any awesome weather condition photos around campus from rain, sunsets, or anything else, and wants it to show up on our newscast, make sure to tweet Coastline at PLNU. So let's take a look at our current conditions for this evening. After a very rainy day, it's going to be a cold evening, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, not going to have much wind. Going into the evening, we do have a 20% chance of rain and 88% humidity. Our lows for this evening, up here in North County and Oceanside, it's going to be 52 degrees, Escondido 52 as well, Encinitas 54. Moving a little inland in Julian, it's going to drop a little bit to 46. Moving down here south in San Diego 55, Chula Vista 54, and El Cajon 52. Let's take a look at our highs for tomorrow. In Oceanside, it's going to be 68, Escondido 70, Encinitas 66, and inland in Julian 55. Down here south in San Diego 66, Chula Vista 68, and El Cajon 72. Let's take a look at our surf report. After the past few days being pretty rainy, you're going to want to try and stay out of the water. With wave height of 4 to 5 feet, you're going to have a high tide at 7:03 a.m. and a low tide at 2 p.m. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast going into next week. Friday and Saturday, it's going to stay the same through the weekend at around 66 to 68 degrees. Moving into next week, it's also going to range about the same 72, 73 degrees. There is going to be a chance of rain still going throughout next week, so make sure to keep out those sweaters because it is going to be a bit chilly through the holidays. Thanks so much. Back to the desk. I'm Hillary Zieber.
Thank you, Hillary. Now it's common to see stray kittens on PLNU's campus, but one community member has discovered a new kind of pet. Reporter Marissa Hornaday will introduce you to Birdie.
Dana Lorenz can be seen driving her Gator around Point Loma's campus, but never without her wing woman in the passenger seat. For 2 years, Dana has been doing her work as a campus facilities employee on her own until just a few months ago when she found her feathered friend.
She tends to just like go up, and then if she can hear my Gator start to leave, and then she comes down and rides around with me. She likes to ride on the Gator because it's loud, I think.
But more than just a driving companion, what makes this such a special pair is how they were united. After finding the newborn parrot on the ground from falling out of a tree, Dana took her in as her own and named her Birdie, of course. And even with no prior bird experience, with baby bird formula bought from PetSmart, Dana hoped that she was off to the right start.
Her eyes had just barely opened when I first found her, so she didn't really have an opinion about anything, so she was just hungry.
Not only has Birdie given Dana a new working partner, but has also helped her earn some fans on campus.
It's a different experience. Probably met more people because of the bird.
After 4 months together, Dana knows some of Birdie's favorite things like eating cookies and singing in the car, but she also knows that she may one day have to say goodbye.
I still try and kind of hold on loosely, because I mean she can fly away and she can do whatever she wants to, so I just kind of, she's not really my bird, she's God's bird, so I just kind of, sometimes I worry, but I try not to, so. Are you cold? Yeah.
Marissa Hornaday, Coastline News.
Yeah.
Oh, Birdie, what an inspiring and interesting story, and it's happening right here on our very own campus.
Yeah, it's incredible to see. Well, I think our entertainment reporter Ross Niederhoff has some entertainment news for us, but whether or not it's inspiring kind of remains to be seen.
That's right, Point Loma. Starting off, I have a bit of controversy for you. This week has been a difficult one for Bill Cosby as he's working to defend his reputation from the attacks of over 15 women who are claiming that he raped them. Although these allegations were at first seen as unsubstantiated and fantastical, more and more evidence is being offered that isn't exactly helping Cosby's rep. One thing that is helping him, though, is the statute of limitations law that is currently active in many states. This law says that legal action cannot be taken on crimes that occurred over a certain number of years prior. However, there is no statute of limitations in New York, where many of these unproven rapes took place. It's looking like Cosby will end up going to court in hopes of clearing his name. Cosby is not the only celebrity dealing with sexual assault claims. On Sunday, Shia LaBeouf reported that he was raped during a performance in an art installation earlier this year. The exhibit, which was entitled #IamSorry, invited the public to visit LaBeouf one-on-one in a small room where he sat wearing a bag over his head that read, "I'm not famous anymore." Shia says that he was stripped and defiled during one woman's visit, which occurred on Valentine's Day. LaBeouf has since spoken on the incident openly, stating that it was a traumatic and painful event for him and his girlfriend. On a lighter note, temperatures are dropping, many states are becoming winter wonderlands, and I think this winter weather is having an effect on fans of Disney's billion-dollar box office hit, Frozen. In a recent interview with Telegraph, Frozen star Idina Menzel hinted that a sequel is in the works. This rumor was later squashed as she made a statement explaining that the remark was only wishful thinking. Her comment is not the only one that has been made about a sequel, however. Frozen's co-directors and Disney execs have also made remarks about a possible second installment. So the Frozen fandom may be in store for a holiday treat after all. Last but not least, I leave you with a video of something very special that happened in San Diego this week. SeaWorld welcomed a brand new baby orca into the world on Tuesday. Kalia, the 10-year-old mother, gave birth at 12:30 p.m. to a 300-pound, 6-foot calf whose sex is unknown. This is the 7th successful delivery in the company's 50-year history. Congratulations to everyone at SeaWorld on that. That's all I have for your entertainment segment. I'm Ross Niederhoff.
Thanks, Ross. Coming up, sports reporter Greta Wall will give us an update on how the Chargers are feeling about this weekend's game.
Plus, the special Christmas tradition they will be participating in this holiday season.
Where do you think you're going?
Is your body holding you back?
I want to go running. Not with that knee, you're not. I'm fine. Negative.
Your bones and joints can say no at any age.
With that shoulder, you're going to pick up that truck. Really?
Keeping you from working, playing, or just plain moving.
Let's not pick her up. What do you say?
Yet a lot of people who live with pain fight back.
Use your head. Save your back. My bride, my rules.
And regain their lives.
You gotta be kidding me.
Whoa. I'm going running. I'm going running.
Got to see this. Come on, pick it up.
Fight for your mobility. Find your own inspiration at anationinmotion.org. A message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Come on. I'll take it from here.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi Greta, welcome to the desk.
I'm here to give you guys a little bit of sports updates both in the professional world and here at Point Loma. So let's go ahead and start with the Point Loma sports. So right now, the men's basketball is playing, so I'll give you guys an update about that in just a little bit. But both the men and the women kicked off their conference play tonight against Dixie State. The women were hoping for just their second win of the season against the 1-3 Red Storm tonight, but they just could not pull through, losing 71-67. Like I said, the men are playing right now, and they have started their season on a much higher note as they sat undefeated at 5-0 going into tonight's matchup. The game is live right now with the Sea Lions leading. Now moving on to the Chargers, it is officially December, which is arguably their favorite month to play. But why? Their quarterback gets hot in winter. Phillip Rivers ranks 4th all-time with a December record of 30-6. But the Bolts' first opponent in December is the Patriots, and that might turn out to be problematic. Rivers has never beaten Tom Brady. He was victorious against New England once in 2008, but Brady was injured with Matt Castle starting. The Pats lost last week to the Packers. A good sign for San Diego? Maybe. New England is not accustomed to losing streaks. They have not lost back-to-back games since 2012. Rivers knows it's going to be a battle Sunday night, but he's confident his team has the ability to pull through.
I think it just shows a lot about what I've always said is about the character of our team, the toughness of our team, and we've finished strong in years where we were 13-3 or 11-5, those years, and we finished strong in years where we were 7-9 or 8-8. And I think so that just shows whatever the situation is, we're going to fight like crazy at the end and have that mentality to finish it off the right way. And when you're 8-4 and you're heading into December, if you do that, they'll give you at least a game in January.
Now, there's more happening at Qualcomm Stadium on Sunday than just a football game. The Chargers are teaming up with Toys for Tots to host their 24th annual toy drive. Fans attending the game can bring joy to local children this holiday season by donating to the cause. Toys and cash donations will be collected as fans enter the stadium by the servicemen and women from the U.S. Marine Corps. The donations will be distributed across San Diego County in time for the holidays. For more information about the event, visit www.toysfortots.org.
That's awesome for the whole community and especially for the kids, you know. That's a great thing for them to see these people they see every single day on TV out in the community like that.
Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely. So thank you guys for joining us for the last Coastline News of the semester. I'm Greta Wall.
We'll be sure to tune in next year. I'm Nick Kelgard.
And I'm Katie Seals. We wish you a happy holiday season and a very Merry Christmas.